Traveling from Stranglethorn Vale through Darkwood and Deadwind Pass, you eventually find yourself in the Swamp of Sorrows. In this zone, you'll find the Sunken Temple, along with some green dragon whelplings and beasts which people sometimes farm for the valuable vendor loot. If you decide to farm the green dragon whelplings, you might have noticed a cave. In fact, the entire area where the dragon whelps fly around is called Itharius Cave. Heading inside this cave, we find a Blood Elf NPC named Itharius, friendly to both Alliance and Horde players. You can actually talk to him, and he has some odd things to say. I know who you are, Clouds. Fate and forces beyond that have brought you to me for a reason, and it is one I take no pleasure in being part of. There are many decisions you will make in the coming times, and I hope you are wise enough to make the correct ones. Believe me, troll, when I tell you this, there are correct choices. You can then ask him, what's an elf like you doing inside a cave like this? Upon which he will reply, you're quite inquisitive. Through such inquisitiveness belies a general lack of understanding. I say this because were you to have a definite purpose in being here, the questions you ask would seem pointless. With that, I bid you a good day. And hence, nothing more. You might not think any more of this and head outside to catch some more dragon whelp respawns. Some of them drop small flame sacks, which are worth a little penny on the auction house. You're left with the questions. Who is he, and why is he there? To properly answer those questions and tell this story, we now have to head inside the Sunken Temple. Once you've defeated the final boss, the Shade of Eranikus, you can loot his essence. From within this essence, eranikus speaks to you. He tells you that he is eranikus of the green dragonflight, and that he was set to watch over the temple in order to prevent the trolls from practicing their magic. He says that he has failed, and that his connections to the dream is twisting into chaos. He asks you to place his gem in the font. The magic there should purge the taint from his psyche and allow him to rest. You will be rewarded with the trinkets. Doing so, you find out that his font is tainted as well, and that his essence is captured. The troll god throws eranikus into a torturing nightmare. Before you complete the quest, he says these final lines. Mortal, I implore you, find one of the green dragonflights to stop this. Help me, I am chained in darkness, forever in agony. Please, do not torture. And with that, you complete the quest and received his chained essence as a trinket. The chained essence of eranikus is an unused trinket. When you use it, it poisons all enemies within 8 yards around the caster. The victims of the poison suffers 50 nature damage every 5 seconds for 45 seconds, this on a 15-minute cooldown. When you use it, eranikus will whisper to you, describing either his torture or the hateful agony he experiences. What eranikus meant by please do not torture was for you to not use the trinkets. Many people have probably both visited Itharius in his cave, and many have obtained the chained essence of eranikus. But remember what eranikus asked you to do. Find one of the green dragonflights. You have seen the green dragon whelplings in the area Itharius cave. Isn't it odd that they are there, once you think about it? There aren't many green dragons anywhere in the world. And there was one person you could talk to there. He seemed like he was expecting you for some reason. If you do return to him with the essence, New dialogue options are available. You can ask him the following. Do you know someone, or something rather, by the name of eranikus? Itharius now explains that the eranikus is his brother, and that he was sent here in order to free his brother from a nightmare within the dream. You continue talking with Itharius, and he explains what the eranikus' mission was, and what the Sunken Temple really is. You also get an explanation for why the Sunken Temple is almost entirely underwater. You ask him what you should do with the eranikus' essence, and Itharius tells you that the correct thing to do is to aid Itharius' dragonflight. Finally, you tell him that you will consider what he said, after which you will obtain the oath stone of Itharius' dragonflight. He also tells you to use it whenever you're ready and able to help him. Right-clicking this item will give you the quest The Essence of Eranikus, which essentially asks you to sacrifice the trinket to Itharius. The next quest, in eranikus' own words, sends you off to Winterspring to talk with Umbranse, the spirit speaker. Umbranse tells you that eranikus lingers between the edge of sleep and death, but that eranikus himself can explain what needs to be done. However, in order to communicate with eranikus, Umbranse first needs your help. He states that, I will lend my skill at death speaking to you, but first I need the help of one who, unlike me, is not limited by the fatalities of old age. My most potent augury device has been taken from me against my will, and unless I have it back, we will be at a loss to help eranikus. You turn in the quest in eranikus' own words, but then nothing. No follow-up quests to retrieve this potent augury device exists. According to posts on forum, this chain is incomplete and was supposed to be finished later on during vanilla. This chain is just one example of the huge number of unfinished content there is in Classic. Some people have discussed what will happen after Classic. Will they add more content or continue into TBC? Perhaps Blizzard decides to add more content and perhaps finish up this questline. I'd personally be very interested in that. This time we aren't left with the normal questions. This time we know quite a lot about things. But we will never find out what happens with eranikus, nor see what loot you could get from this chain. Once you're logged into Classic, please click the red question mark for help requests on your action bar. Head down to submit suggestion and ask Blizzard to finish this quest chain. I think it would be amazing if we got to see a proper finish to it. As for now, we'll leave eranikus and this whole story unfinished and simply wait and hope that Blizzard one day will complete it. I hope you found this interesting. If nothing else, you can always turn in the trinket for some extra experience. But for now, all that's left for me is to ask you to like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more.